Mike, the Body Snatcher. McCallum, a three-division world champion and one of the greatest body punchers in history, has passed away at the age of 69. A fighter of unmatched skill and discipline, McCallum's name may not have always been in bright lights, but inside the ring, he was feared and respected by all. But while his legacy in the ring is secure, life after boxing was far from easy, filled with struggles that many fans never saw. So today, we pay tribute to Mike McCallum, his rise, his battles, his brilliance, and the challenges he faced in his final years. If you're a fan of boxing history and want to honor the greats of this sport, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss stories like this one. Now, let's remember the incredible life and career of Mike the Body Snatcher McCallum. Early life and rise to champion. Mike McCallum was born on December 7, 1955, in Kingston, Jamaica. Growing up in poverty, life was hard, but McCallum discovered boxing as a way out. He wasn't the flashiest fighter, but he had something far more important: discipline, precision, and heart. In 1976, McCallum represented Jamaica at the Montreal Olympics. Though he didn't medal, his performance caught attention. It was clear his future lay in the professional ranks. In 1981, McCallum turned professional. From the start, he showcased a punishing body attack, earning the nickname the Body Snatcher. By 1984, just 3 years into his career, he won his first world title, the WBA Super Welterweight belt, with a dominant win over Sean Mannion. It was the first step in a journey that would see McCallum become one of the most respected fighters of his generation. One of McCallum's signature wins came against Julian Jackson, one of boxing's deadliest punchers. Jackson came out aggressive, but McCallum weathered the storm. He systematically broke Jackson down and stopped him in round 2. It was a clinical dismantling of a feared knockout artist. Then came Donald Curry, a former welterweight champion with incredible speed and skill. Early rounds were even, but McCallum's body work paid off. In the 5th round, he unleashed a devastating left hook that knocked Curry out, one of the finest knockouts of McCallum's career. Middleweight move, light heavyweight success, and retirement. Despite his dominance at super welterweight, Mike McCallum continually faced one of the most frustrating realities of the boxing business: the politics of matchmaking. Though he had proven himself as one of the most skilled and dangerous fighters of his era, landing the marquee fights that could elevate him to superstardom proved elusive. The sport's biggest names, Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hitman Hearns, Roberto Duran, all seemed to have one thing in common when it came to McCallum: they didn't want to risk stepping in the ring with him. To promoters and fighters alike, McCallum was considered high risk, low reward. He was too skilled, too smart, too physically punishing, yet lacked the mainstream star power that would generate massive pay-per-view numbers. But McCallum was never one to dwell on missed opportunities. Instead, he kept moving forward. Determined to continue challenging himself, he moved up to the middleweight division. In 1989, McCallum captured the WBA middleweight title with a brilliant performance against Harold "Bomber" Graham, a fighter known for his unorthodox, elusive style. Graham was a slick southpaw with excellent movement, the kind of opponent who frustrated many great fighters. But McCallum's composure, ring IQ, and precision body work paid dividends. Over 12 rounds, he systematically broke Graham's rhythm, neutralized his awkward angles, and earned a well-deserved decision victory, securing his second world title in a second weight class. But the middleweight division offered no respite in terms of competition. In 1991, McCallum faced James "Lights Out" Toney, a defensive genius slick counterpuncher, and one of the most naturally gifted fighters of his generation. The clash between McCallum's experience and Tony's youthful brilliance was a true masterclass in technical boxing. Over 12 tense, tactical rounds, McCallum used his signature body punching to slow Tony down and landed sharp, calculated shots upstairs. Tony responded with lightning-fast counters and clever defensive maneuvers. When the final bell rang, many observers believed McCallum had done enough to win, but the judges rendered it a controversial draw. Unwilling to leave any doubt, the two warriors met again in a 1992 rematch. This time, the younger Tony made subtle adjustments, using his legs more and varying his rhythm. It was another razor-close contest, but Tony edged out a split decision. Even in defeat, McCallum had demonstrated that, despite being in his mid-30s, he remained among the elite fighters in the world. But McCallum wasn't finished yet. In characteristic fashion, he once again sought new challenges, moving up to the light heavyweight division. In 1994, at the age of 37, an age when most fighters are well past their peak, McCallum faced rugged Australian champion Jeff Harding for the vacant WBC light heavyweight title. Harding was known for his relentless pressure, granite chin, and workmanlike style. Many wondered if the older McCallum could handle Harding's physicality and high volume, but McCallum's experience and ring intelligence once again proved decisive. Over 12 rounds, he expertly controlled distance, used subtle head movement, and targeted Harding's body to sap his energy. By the championship rounds, McCallum was firmly in command, boxing his way to a clear decision victory, becoming a three-division world champion, an extraordinary achievement for any fighter. However, as time inevitably does, the years began to catch up with McCallum. By the mid-90s, the reflexes that had once allowed him to slip punches by millimeters were a fraction slower. The stamina that carried him through grueling battles was waning, but his warrior spirit remained intact. In 1997, at the age of 41, McCallum stepped into the ring for what would be the final fight of his illustrious career, against the supremely gifted Roy Jones Jr., then in his absolute prime. Jones was a once-in-a-generation athlete, blazing hand speed, explosive reflexes, and uncanny creativity in the ring. McCallum fought bravely, using every ounce of his veteran savvy to try and offset Jones's speed. But at that stage of his career, the physical gap was simply too great. Jones cruised to a clear decision victory, and McCallum knew the time had come to hang up the gloves. Mike McCallum retired with a truly remarkable record: 49 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw. 36 of those wins came by knockout, and most impressively, in a career spanning nearly 2 decades against world-class competition, Mike McCallum was never once knocked out, a testament to his skill, durability, and defensive mastery, and a legacy few fighters in boxing history can match. Life after boxing, legacy, and cautionary tale. But like so many fighters, McCallum soon faced a new and much tougher opponent: life after boxing. He moved to Las Vegas, becoming a sought-after trainer, teaching young fighters the same body-punching mastery that defined his career. Yet financially, McCallum faced challenges. He fought in an era where purses were far smaller than today's mega-fights. And because he was often avoided by big stars, he missed out on the kinds of paydays that secure a fighter's future. Unlike modern champions, McCallum did not retire wealthy. And there were physical costs, too. Though never knocked out, McCallum spent nearly 2 decades absorbing punches from elite opponents. Like many retired fighters, he reportedly dealt with joint pain, cognitive issues, and other long-term effects of his career. In 2003, McCallum was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame, a long overdue recognition of his greatness. For true boxing fans and purists, McCallum's legacy was never in doubt. He was one of the most skilled technicians and body punchers the sport has ever seen. Yet, during his prime, McCallum often fought for respect as much as for titles. He was the man many champions avoided. Too dangerous, too technical, too smart. That lack of marquee fights cost him mainstream fame. But among those who know boxing, Mike McCallum's name remains legendary. Today, McCallum's influence is everywhere. Modern trainers teach body punching using his fights as examples. Current stars, from Terence Crawford to Canelo Alvarez, use bodywork in ways that trace directly to McCallum's approach. His career is a blueprint for fighters who want to win with skill, intelligence, and discipline. But McCallum's story is also a cautionary tale. He gave everything to the sport: his youth, his health, his prime years, and in retirement, he faced financial uncertainty and health issues that boxing offered little support for. Too many greats share this fate. The sport demands everything, but often gives little in return when a fighter's career ends. Passing and final tribute. Now, with his passing on May 31st, 2025, at the age of 69, the boxing world says goodbye to one of its most brilliant craftsmen. Mike McCallum was a fighter who let his fists do the talking, who never chased hype, but built a career on skill and heart. From Kingston to the world stage. From body-snatching brilliance to Hall of Fame enshrinement. From feared contender to revered teacher, Mike McCallum's story will endure. So today, we pay tribute to Mike, the Body Snatcher McCallum, a man who fought with skill, lived with honor, and left a mark on boxing that will last forever. Rest in peace, champion. You will never be forgotten.